I guess we'll find out. What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. I'm Brett. This is Luke.
Whoa!
Tyler's not here tonight. Sad face. We miss you, Tyler.
How sad.
No. It's all good. He'll be back next week. No worries there. Right?
Really? Doesn't he have that
He
thing?
might not be back next week.
I think he has a thing.
We may be doing the show by ourselves 2 weeks in a row. We'll figure that out when the time comes. In the meantime, this is kind of a weird week. We're one person down, and we don't have like
Neither one of us saw Ghostbusters because we heard it was bad.
Man, I can't.
And I'm okay. It was a March Madness
There's
weekend.
basketball.
There was like 40 games of basketball.
There's
And I'm not gonna
stuff to do, right?
Pass that up.
So we'll hopefully we'll have something to review proper next week. But this week, don't worry, we're still here. We're still talking about stuff. We each watched or played some things that we can talk about. 3 Body Problem dropped, so we're both kind of into that. Like we've started it, so we'll have some impressions to give. But first, Luke, tell us about them trailers that be dropping.
There was a lot of trailers this week, and thankfully we watched them all again
right before the show started.
And honestly, thank goodness too, just so I could remind myself.
Kind of forgot about some of them too.
We're gonna start in TV land, and this was a pretty highly anticipated trailer. I mean, because it's Star Wars, but also
anything Star Wars highly anticipated
because it's allegedly. I say that with huge asterisks and quotes, because honestly, I don't really believe it anymore. That it's set in the High Republic before Phantom Menace.
This is the Acolyte.
Yeah. I saw 100 years before Phantom Menace, and honestly, like, I don't know. Good try, but like. But I guess just what did you think of the trailer?
I think it's an alright trailer. It definitely has a different kind of Star Wars vibe that I'm not sure how I feel about it, because it doesn't have, to me, kind of what you were alluding to there, like I don't feel like it is brimming with High Republic era vibes.
It looks exactly like every other thing I've seen Disney put out, and to an extent, Lucas.
So I think it, on my range of like, I don't know how, because there's so many different ways to kind of evaluate this, right? But like, let's just go stick to Star Wars TV shows. There's like Boba Fett and Mandalorian. For me, those are like, Mandalorian has some high points, but it all kind of feels like it's shot on the volume.
Kind of ended with a wet fart.
Kind of ended with, yeah. And then, Andor for me is way up here.
Oh, yeah.
And so this reminds me more of Andor than it does of Mandalorian. So that's what excites me about this. That said, still feels very different than Andor. This is clearly a show about Jedi and Sith and lightsabers, but it's weird in that for me it doesn't fit neatly into this feels like the prequels, this feels like the sequels, this feels like Star Wars TV now,
feels like a Star Wars TV.
It kind of feels like it's a I don't know what it is, I guess is what I'm saying.
They did. You said it kind of reminds you of Andor. The showrunner, creator, lady person. I don't know what the
showrunner. Just say showrunner.
I don't. Doesn't he have the whole thing with like, oh, we don't use showrunners.
It could be like executive producer, but oh yeah.
But like, she had mentioned how they use the volume 0, which is fine. I know we harp on the volume all the time now.
I think it's just in the general consensus.
I'm really glad they went outside to shoot stuff.
I mean, Andor's the best looking Star Wars since, I don't know, hot take.
It's
Last Jedi.
definitely the best looking Star Wars TV show by a landslide.
Oh, easily.
But I guess like
I mean, that doesn't make or break a show, though, right? Like,
yeah.
we've seen seasons of The Mandalorian that were good, shot on the volume.
Mm-hmm.
We've also seen plenty of TV shows that were not shot on the volume.
It kind
not
of
Star Wars, obviously, but that aren't good.
It goes back to just you don't have to always use it. You don't
Yeah.
have to never use it.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
use it the way it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Like I think that's one of the reasons Mandalorian 3, one of the many reasons it was just so bland was it felt like every single scene was just on the volume.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've seen it so much now. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So when like you find out that's like, oh, we use the volume for this, and you can't tell, it's like, oh, that's really cool. They used it really well there.
Yeah.
But
in terms of the Acolyte, for me, despite the fact that it doesn't really, in a weird place where I don't know how I feel about it yet. In terms of like, does it feel like Star Wars or not? I'll give this trailer a thumbs up. I think that it did enough to like, okay, yeah, this could deliver on this interesting premise.
As a trailer, I don't think it's very good. It finished and I really had just no excitement. And it was honestly kind of depressing because I love Star Wars. And it reminded me of The Matrix.
Okay.
Not only because Carrie-Anne Moss is in it, but it also has the wire work stunt choreography.
Yeah.
And I've talked a lot about how I'd love a Jedi that just uses martial arts and doesn't rely on a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And then to use that visual style was, I don't know, is a letdown.
Okay, that's fair.
But I love Star Wars. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm going to like force myself to get excited for it. But man, I was really let down by this trailer, so I'm actually gonna give it a thumbs down.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think just like the generic premise of like somebody's hunting Jedi is just like, okay. I thought the music could have stood out more, and it was just kind of like trailer music. Like there's even Star Wars music in there. Yeah. You have to like listen for it. It's kind of varied. Play a like throw in the Darth Plagueis theme from what was the third one?
Phantom? Oh, Sith, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Just throw that in there for a little bit. Just a little bit.
just
a
little.
I don't know. It's just like they found a clip off SoundCloud and they're like, this will work. Throw some strings in it. But yeah, I was let down. I know Tyler really liked it. Yeah. I wish he was here to tell us we're wrong. Logan, my brother, really liked it. I would love to be told I'm wrong about this, so just let me have it.
Real quick in the chat, for the people who don't know, not talking about me, what is shot on volume? Baroque, thank you for that wonderful question. I called him out. Yeah, so the volume, if you're not super familiar, the volume is just a giant kind of 3D, like a wraparound screen, right? So think of like a big screen, LED screen that stretches all the way around a set. And then you can use Unreal Engine, which is a video game engine, to put up more or less a photorealistic backdrop, background. And then because it's in a closed environment and you can track spatially where a camera's at, you can actually move the camera within that volume, within that space, and your background can change correctly. So it always has the right point of view.
It's like a pre-visual effect background replacement for green screen.
Yeah, what made it really important for The Mandalorian is with a character with that much reflective surface on it, if you were to use green screen, you're going to have to go in and basically retouch with CGI every reflection on their armor.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, you get accurate reflections of, where is light, how is it bouncing off of. There's usually also like a above screen, right? So a screen that's kind of vertically above the actors and camera. So once again, it all just kind of seamlessly. You still have to go and probably touch up a few things,
Yeah.
but it makes that kind of production way cheaper. Mandalorian would not have gotten created without the volume. And
Just now
and
they've
so
become way too
they've
reliant on it.
they've really used it a lot on those shows. Kind of the example that we go back to when we talk about what uses the volume well. The Batman used the volume for a couple kind of rooftop scenes at golden hour. You can just lock in that light. You don't have to worry about the sun actually setting because you're just there. So you can spend as much time as you need. And with how they were shooting that film, it's just like super in the background and super fuzzy. So it's not, you don't get that feeling like you're staring at an LCD screen.
Yeah. And kind of, sorry, I'm going back to just the
Yeah.
Acolyte because I thought of more stuff that annoys me.
Okay. We're on an Acolyte hate train today.
No, not hate train. I don't want to hate it. It's just more stuff that I've just kind of been seeing online regarding it.
Okay.
And this is going to go in multiple directions. First of all, I don't care about, like, there's all the people that are just saying this is woke, and it's like, who cares? It's just, I'm so sick of people bringing that up. Just like, let's just try to enjoy the thing.
Is not a valid bullet point these days. You need to.
I feel like people just say it.
That's my point. Like, so what is that? What about, like, don't come out with that. What is your reasoning why you think that is a probable? That's your bullet point. Not it's woke. It's woke. Not valid. Don't use it.
Just goes into another thing that goes into my list of if somebody complains about something being woke, I just really find the argument invalid. It's like we're gonna mark that under NA.
Yeah, like
the other thing that's like, and this goes back to it's set in the High Republic ish maybe. It's rumored to take place 100 years before, and then people are saying Plo Koon is in the trailer. And if you know who that is, he's the person who found Ahsoka.
He's cool.
He's cool. But, like, Yoda's gonna be in this.
Oh, there's no way.
Yoda's 800 years old.
There's no way we get out of this show without some sort of fan servicey reference to a character that's alive. And I think Plo Koon does live significantly long. Like, his species lives longer than humans.
Sure, yeah.
I think.
And I'm fine with that. But
I mean, heck, Chewie.
You have the opportunity.
Chewie might be a baby in this.
Dude, right? He probably is. But, like, you have the opportunity to do something visually distinct in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I just feel like, before even seeing it, so this could change. It's such a missed opportunity. And, I don't know, and when the characters we know pop up, it's just going to be like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, and there's always that balance of...
Balance. I see fire.
How much do you incorporate things that we know? How much freedom do a group of creatives have to develop their own thing and own, new species? I don't know what kind of... In the past, I feel like... historically speaking, especially George had free reign, right? Just did whatever he wanted. Good Lord. The man maybe needed to have someone put him in check every once in a while. That said, I think from what I've heard, JJ had a ton of freedom on Force Awakens. He chose to do a lot of similar things. I know for a fact, because I've watched the behind the scenes stuff, or at least he says this, Rian Johnson with The Last Jedi, ton of freedom. And then I think after Rise of Skywalker, after that, people got
You no longer have any freedom.
kind of got scared, and they, JJ once again did Rise of Skywalker, and
The rest
I don't
is
know,
history.
but since then it does seem like we've kind of come back to the well of, okay, what are familiar things? What are things that people identify as Star Wars already, and we're not trying to put a new label on as, hey, no, this new thing is also Star Wars. Um, and I think Andor's been the most successful at that thus far. Even still, it's a very small story with very limited. We're not getting a ton of new aliens. It's a very human story in that regard, and obviously factions we're familiar with, and a time period we're familiar with. So, Acolyte has that opportunity to really branch out. The question is, did they lean more into the familiar for marketing because it's marketing, and then we want it to feel like Star Wars, or is that the whole show and this is truly a representation of it? Sorry for that weird rant, or not even a rant, just a rabbit hole. We should talk about more trailers.
Okay.
We have a bunch.
Well, we can knock 2 out at the same time.
That's right.
Because there was 2 House of the Dragon trailers. There
Yep.
was a black trailer and a green trailer for the 2 sides.
The 2 factions.
The 2 families. The 2 queens and kings. I don't know. Whatever. Looks good.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Yeah, as a big fan of Season 1, this it gets me very excited for Season 2.
I'll just call myself a normal fan of Season 1. I thought it was pretty good, and the last episode was quite good. Obviously, Team Targaryen or
Team Black.
Team Black.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I don't like anybody on the green team.
I mean, here's the problem. The first season didn't do much to, like, here's why you should like the green team.
Like, every step they take is just like, oh, I hate you a little more.
A little more. So, I mean, but it's
Team
fun.
Rhaenyra.
It's fun marketing, and I like the idea of these 2 trailers kind of doing presenting 2 different viewpoints on who you should be voting for, cheering for.
It is a voting year.
I guess so. It is election year.
Yeah.
So, no, big thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Not as much time was nearly spent on that one.
Oh, we liked it. We don't talk about things we like that long.
That's right. Another thing that I think we both really liked, the Penguin.
Yeah.
From a spin-off show from Matt Reeves' The Batman. This looks awesome.
This looks kind of, so in talking about the Acolyte trailer, like, and obviously the Batman being a singular film, Batman has a longer history, but the Batman, and this is in the Batman universe, like, I do feel like we go back to some of those familiar places, right? Like, we're revisiting the Iceberg Lounge, and, like, that, all that stuff's real, but it's really important to the character, so it makes sense. But it's nice to see that, and it look visually as good as the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, one of those things where it's like, oh wow, who directed this? Like, who did they get for cinematography? Because, like,
actually, now I want
this is like excellent. I mean, like, obviously Greg Fraser didn't DP this, but it looks awesome. So,
I guess I should look up showrunner.
Yeah, because there may be different directors for different episodes.
Written by Lauren LaFranc. Cinematography, Darren Tiernan.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Darren, at least from the trailer, you're doing good work.
Doing good work, Darren.
Doing good work.
Good job, Darren.
Yeah, I think this, especially with now the delay of the Batman 2, this is almost, needed is the wrong word, but, like, it's gonna feel good to get back into that universe, at least even just for a little bit. So
yes,
yeah, excited, thumbs up.
Yeah, big thumbs up. Oh, okay, we're switching over to movies now. Unless there is another TV show trailer that we missed, you can put it in the chat. I'm gonna start off with one that I don't think either one of us watched, but if you watched it, let us know what you thought. And it was the new season of Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
I've never watched Doctor Who.
So, fun fact, just this year, Stephanie and I have started, since like the 2010 Christopher Eccleston kind of reboot, I've started watching Doctor Who, and so I'm curious, but I'm not nearly far enough along to really be invested in the current season yet. So,
The dude who's playing the new Doctor, he's in the show Sex Education. He's fantastic. He's in Masters of the Air for a bit. I think he's in Barbie.
yeah, yep, he's a Ken.
He's fantastic. So it's a good choice.
Yeah.
Next movie, Furiosa. I wasn't huge on the first trailer. I just thought it was like, okay, it was a teaser showing some familiar things. Yo, this trailer was cooking, in my opinion. I'm so excited. I love Fury Road. I was always excited for the movie. Just the first trailer was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie looks freaking good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am a. I think I said this. Someone could fact check me. They won't. I think I said this though when the first trailer came out. I was much more on kind of where you were, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer didn't grab me, and this one was better. I still think that this is just a movie that is best experienced as a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's maybe one of those movies that just is really hard to capture its essence in a trailer. I don't know.
I just love listening to Chris Hemsworth scream in his natural accent. Heck, he might even be exaggerating it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome. Because I don't think we've ever gotten to see him in at least a big budget movie and just hear him talk normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just thick Australian accent. And it's gorgeous.
So thick.
Love that accent.
It's thick with 2 C's.
Whoa. Accent already has 2 C's.
Bro, so
you're right.
Is there 4 C's in it then?
Accent.
I'll give this one a sideways thumb, but still hype, super hype for the movie. That's just on the trailer.
Yep. Next trailer, The Fall Guy. This movie looks awesome, and I can't wait for it.
This was a trailer that I definitely didn't need. Even before you pulled it up, you're like, "Oh, this is 3 minutes. We're seeing the whole movie." I absolutely saw the whole movie,
and I can't wait to see it.
Luckily, it doesn't feel like this is just all of the funny bits crammed into one trailer. This looks like a film that just built into its DNA. It's just going to be a great time.
It looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Ryan Gosling, who at one time was the most underrated comedic actor in the business, now everybody knows.
Yeah.
So go watch The Nice Guys now that you know. Man. And then obviously Emily Blunt, yeah.
Luke was on board.
You had me at hello,
day zero. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it looks so good. I'm very, very excited. Next, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Next movie, Alien Romulus. Mr. Alien Guy, what did you think?
Another teaser trailer. So it
Another
doesn't
one?
or
just in general for the day.
Yes, a teaser trailer here. So not a full blown story trailer. For a teaser, I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it gave me really good vibes.
Shows you it's going to be gory and
dude, I loved that.
Hopefully scary.
That long take at the very beginning to revealing the bloody cryotube, and then some of the quick cuts of
the face huggers.
The face huggers. Stuff, yeah. There's the
the face hugger taking out its.
In any case, there was just some really good stuff in here that made me.
Is that allowed in the trailer?
This is going to make me squirm a little, and I like that.
I'm curious, how do they? So obviously there's the Alien movies.
Yep.
But then there was Prometheus, and they're like,
"We're
going to give you this very interesting. I'll just call it a surgery scene."
Oh, what is the?
And then in the next one, they're like, "Oh yeah, face hugger eggs. They always come out of the chest, right?"
Nope.
Well, not in this one. Not in this moment. So what is the moment in this one going to be?
Ooh, that's
what part of the movie am I gonna go, oh, are you serious? Why did you make me look at that?
Uh,
It is Fede Alvarez,
I think
and I feel like he will not hold back in that
no.
moment.
You know, just to set expectations way too high here. I think it's a
It's gonna come out the eye.
no. I think it's going to like rip open and like the bottom half of the person just like falls off, and then it falls out of the cavity.
No, that'd be gross.
Right? Like it's just
the,
like
the thing with it though is like the people were still alive when the thing was going on, and I feel like that would just be like, okay, I'm dead. Like what? Legs gone. So like, what is?
maybe they're okay. So imagine this: they're like strapped in like to a surgery table or something like that. Something happens, and like the doctors run away, and then like the surgery table like rises up, so they're hanging there alive, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and then like legs and bottom of the torso
just like
fall down,
just
and then
across.
so like, dude, we're making this podcast like definitely over PG-13 here, but as like all the entrails and blood is like dripping down, then it just it like falls out rather than like, but it, like falls out and like lands on the ground.
What if it just pops out normal and it's like, I want to go back in, and it just finds a different person and just. It's like, I want to be back in the nice, warm, cozy chest cavity.
I mean, it could. We haven't seen something come out the mouth. Come out the way it goes in.
We did in the trailer.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
Was it the thing?
Was it the thing?
I'm just saying, technically they're planting eggs.
Dude, Alien
Usually
is such
eggs
a,
involve
such a
reproductive systems.
weird thing.
So what was that? Was that actually allowed to be shown on the trailers? It's questionable.
Questionable.
It's questionable.
Who knows? Anyways,
Thumbs
up.
Looks good, yeah.
I'm here for it.
The next one, In a Violent Nature.
The slash movie from the perspective of the killer. Trailer goes to very long lengths to not show us the slasher's face, which I imagine will carry through in the film as well. Here's what I told Luke before. I think it's a pretty boring trailer.
Yep.
I think it's a fascinating idea for a movie. I don't know how you keep someone like I don't know how this is a feature. Like I could see this working as like even like a 30-minute short.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very curious to how it plays. I'll go see it just for that reasoning, from like a filmmaker's perspective.
I won't because I think slasher movies are dumb. Yeah. And in my opinion, you went and made it dumber. And this is all my opinion, people. So I think you're honestly taking the most interesting thing about a slasher movie and taking it out. And that is not knowing if the killer is there or not. And then like maybe they're actually over there. Or, classic jump scare, it was a cat.
Yeah.
Like you don't know if the person is there or not. And you always know where they are. And there's the part in the trailer where he's just walking up to Yoga Girl. And it's like, what's interesting about this?
So I think the vibe here, Luke, and here's where I'm going to attempt to defend it, and let me know if you think this sounds interesting or not. This, to me, like, the goal would be to do the last 15 minutes of Uncut Gems. Where, like, it's that the guys who are trying to kill you are right on the other side of that glass case, and like the tension is then all about the acting. I just don't know how you do it if you're not showing one character's face, right? But like the idea that okay, this is an unstoppable force. How is he going to kill this next victim?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that could be anxiety inducing. I don't know if they can get away with it, especially, and that's why I say I don't know how you make that a 90-minute thing. But I don't think it's going to have a slasher vibe.
Yeah. Probably
because you're right.
not.
Because the whole thing about a slasher is where are they?
Mm-hmm.
You are taking that completely out of the equation here.
The other part of it too is every moment in the trailer they're walking slow, which is
Yeah.
funny because like Michael Myers and Freddy, or not Freddy, Jason Voorhees are always
Freddy
just. Well, he's in dreams. That's
Oh, fair enough. Fair
it's
enough.
different. He can just, control the Matrix or whatever. Until they learn to control their dreams. I haven't seen
Until
him.
they take the red
I
pill.
haven't seen him, so I don't
They have
know.
to take the red pill.
Or is it the blue pill? I don't remember. I should rewatch
I
the
think
Matrix.
it's the red. I'm pretty sure it's the red pill. I honestly can't remember now. We're
Oh,
bad Matrix fans.
What was I even talking about? Oh, he's just walking slow, and I think it's kind of funny, but at the same time, like, it's just the classic, like, oh, they're walking so slow, just run away.
Yeah.
Just run away. You're in a clear, open path. You're doing yoga out in the rocks. Just sprint, lady. Instead, she's standing there going, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness." It's like just run, just run.
I'm gonna give this another sideways thumb. Luke's gonna give it a yeah. I knew he was gonna upside down thumb. Yeah. I told you why already.
Boo!
So. Luke, what's next? We got even more trailers. We're already 34 minutes into this
It's
episode.
the last movie.
Okay.
Unless somebody mentions one that we didn't talk about, and it's Beetlejuice. 2024 AD? I wasn't sure if that was part of the title or not.
Oh, I don't know if it's part of the title.
But it was on the picture.
Here's
Beetlejuice
where... Now, you're a little bit more of a Beetlejuice fan, correct?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe
I like
not.
the original.
See, and I don't care for the original. And so I don't really... This one looks like the original... To its credit, it looks and feels like a sequel. So, and I wasn't interested in the first one, so I'm not interested in this one. But I'm not saying it looks bad, just not up my alley.
Yep.
And it's not doing anything... The trailer's not doing anything different enough to be like, oh, I need to check this one out.
Yeah. Dude, it literally
Maybe a
does
second
nothing
trailer will.
different for Winona Ryder's haircut. She has the same haircut. She's 30 years older or 40 years older, whatever. When did the first one come out? Anyway, she has the same haircut. I find that very interesting. I don't have the same haircut as 5 days ago. But yeah, I think it looks good. Michael Keaton is great, and he's in his I'm reviving things from the 80s.
He is in his revival era, isn't he?
I saw a thing that was like, we're one step closer to getting a Mr. Mom too. I think it'd be so funny.
Yes.
I've never even seen Mr. Mom. I just think it'd be so funny. But yeah, looks good. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll see it.
Yeah, sideways thumb for me.
Just feeling kind of sideways today, aren't you?
A number of mine have been sideways. Yeah.
You looking at Titanic articles? What you doing?
No, it's the news.
I got two more, 1.5 more things.
All right, quick. What are they?
Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. This is a game.
Video game.
The most realistic looking game, at least for the cinematic trailer.
That vertical slice is probably setting some expectations too high. It would be my guess. But this is the Amy Hennig.
Amy Hennig, formerly of Uncharted 1 and 2.
Yeah, so like she does very cinematic games, and so I can see this being just their internal benchmark of like it has to look amazing.
Yeah, and it's in Unreal. The engine is Unreal. Unreal Engine 5. And honestly, the bit where they show, I don't think it's in the trailer, but there was the other thing that came out where like actually shows Black Panther's face.
Mm-hmm.
And it honestly looked so real, even compared to just like the CG animation around them. It was honestly, and I say this in the most best way, it looked too real. And
a little distracting.
I don't think I liked it.
Yeah.
And that's like I'm trying to say that as a positive.
Sure.
Like, it's just literally unreal. Like that we've come that far along that stuff can look that real. But yeah, the actual game is not gonna look like this. It will probably look really good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not gonna look exactly like real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amy Henning. I was bought in before even a trailer. She made Uncharted 2, or at least wrote it, directed it. I don't really exactly remember, and I think that is maybe the best sequel video game of all time. It's up there.
Yeah.
It's in the conversation. I think it's the best Uncharted game. All of her, I'm pretty sure all the games she's made have been story driven, so
Yeah.
that gets me super excited.
Yep.
That it's just going to be a single player, story driven.
You would get excited.
Cinematic
You just
game.
don't want me to play it.
I honestly don't care if you play it. I'm gonna play it. I'm
No,
very excited.
It does. I mean, I'll give this trailer a thumbs up. Yeah. Kudos to everything you just said.
So the last thing I have was, it wasn't really a trailer. It's just Bungie did a live stream for Destiny, their new little content update, Into the Light. They have a Horde mode coming. It's something that Destiny players have been asking for forever, especially since Bungie kept giving them almost Horde modes. Like Escalation Protocol, it's like, here's a Horde mode. Oh, it's over. It's very short. But this is like actual Horde mode.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun. I'm very excited. Looks like a lot of weapons they stole from us are going to be coming back.
Oh, the return of. I mean, look, I might maybe able to be convinced on just to go get a
Midnight Coup?
a midnight coup. Yeah.
I never even got one.
I think mine's still in my. I don't know. You can use them still, right? If they've been sunset, they just.
Well, maybe not in that mode, but
Well, yeah,
in
yeah.
other places, yeah.
Yeah. I can use it out in patrol.
I wouldn't mind if you hopped on.
And make sure it's even still installed. I'm honestly not. I think it is. I think it's still installed. Anyways, we can find out after the pod.
We don't have to.
He has zero faith that I would actually play
I won't be mad, nor will I be surprised if it's
We
not.
played Anthem together, Luke, for a single day, like 2 months ago.
And it was a lot of fun.
And we could do that with Destiny.
Oh, yeah, let's go, baby.
Just one day.
Let's go.
I'm not committing to,
Maybe you'll get re-addicted, just like me.
Maybe.
Take the Destiny drugs.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's all the trailers we got.
That's all the trailers
40
I have.
minutes later, we're finally through trailers. Luckily, we don't have...
We talked about the Acolyte for like 15.
We don't have that. That's true. We don't have that much to go over tonight. I'm going to real quickly give my review of Halo Season 2, since I'm the only one on the pod who watched it or wants to watch it. I think I could convince Luke to watch it if it was better. The problem is it's just not that good. Did I bury the lead?
No, what's so funny is it's so true. If it was just a little better, you could convince me to watch it. I would have to probably come over here, though, because I wouldn't pay for Paramount.
It's one of those shows where... And it's weird being a Season 2, right? Like, it improved a number of things from Season 1, for sure. But then it just kind of was like... I feel like they looked at a Halo encyclopedia, but forgot to read what things were. Hey, this is a cool name of a thing. We could use it. How? Should we use it in its original manner? No. Look, this is a show that's less interested in being an adaptation and way more interested in just being a generic sci-fi story that will get people to subscribe to Paramount Plus. Man, it
worked for me for a little bit.
I guess it worked for me.
They got you.
They got me.
Got those claws in you.
For what is it? What is Paramount, like $10?
I have no idea.
I don't know. They got me for like $20. Good job, Paramount. I don't know. Like, there's better moments with the secondary characters in this season. Unfortunately, like they're spread out with the characters that came over from the first season that we kind of got left by the wayside. I want to care about Soren and his family, but the show just doesn't give you enough time with them, or makes their story interesting enough to really care. Um, Similarly, Quan, who's kind of like the magical mystical element of this, like they've gone so far out of their way in this show to be like everything is science based, and then it's like except for this one thing where there's 1,000 generations of human memories implanted into you, and we can somehow control this. It's bizarre. Um, so she's still around, but like very underutilized. I genuinely feel bad for the actors who
That are just in contract.
they're just there. Yeah, they're just there because they're under contract. I mean, I'd probably do it and take the paycheck too, but like I just wish there was more for them to do. Um, the new character who I think is outstanding is Perez.
Is he the business guy?
No, she
Oh.
is a Marine who Chief saves in the first episode, and then she kind of like she's around, helps during the Fall of Reach battle, and then kind of enlists to be a Spartan 3. So by the end, she's a Spartan 3, and so her story is really is pretty nice. I could have used even more. I think my biggest complaint with like Silver Team, which is like the Chief, Kai, Vanek, and I honestly can't remember the last one's name, is that they're pretty disjointed after episode 4. It's like episode 1, they're out on a mission. Episodes 2 and 3, they're like stuck at Reach HQ, so like they're never in their armor and they're just hanging out. And then the Fall of Reach, the attack on Reach happens, and after that, they kind of just float apart.
They don't die?
Spartans never die, Luke.
I played Halo Reach. A lot of Spartans died.
There
Every single one you see in that game dies. Well, that's not true.
You can see Master Chief
You
if
see
you
him-
pan left.
you see Master
immediately
Chief.
in that cutscene.
He died on account.
Yeah, so there are maybe some Spartans who die. There's some Spartans who just basically retire because their bodies are that broken. Like, and those are some interesting little stories that just aren't fleshed out enough for you to really care. So by the end of it, it's like basically Chief is doing his thing and another Spartan is doing their thing over here, and they have one moment near the end back together, but it's weird. It's a season of TV where Chief is really isolated, and you'd think that would feel more like Halo, because so often in Halo it is you as the character, right? And you and Cortana, but even Cortana isn't hanging out with the Chief like at all this season. So it really falls apart. It has a few moments of like, hey, this was a really cool way to see this, like this kind of a sci-fi thing in a Halo wrapper, right? Like it's generic sci-fi ramming of the ship, like in a space battle, there's a ship that rams another ship, and that's cool to see that done with Covenant cruisers. That's neat. It's kind of similar to like the space battle in Rogue One, where it's like the hammerhead and like hitting the, like, that was really cool. There's nothing inherently like unique about that. That's a very sci-fi thing you can do, but it was cool to see it in Star Wars. It was cool to see it in Halo, but outside of those like 5 or 6 moments throughout the season, there's just not much that really kept me wanting to come back. I came back because I love Halo enough that I wanted to see where the story goes, and I don't know. I think this show is popular enough that it may get a season 3.
Would you be?
I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'll probably watch it.
Would you be happy if Paramount came out and been like, "We're canceling Halo"?
I wouldn't be happy about it,
Would
but
you?
I wouldn't be sad about it.
Would you be like
either.
relieved? I guess. Be like, okay, I don't have to watch it anymore. They weren't doing a good job. Maybe I'll get something else some other day.
Maybe.
Or is it like,
I would probably lean more that way.
maybe season 3 will actually...
No, at this point, I don't. I don't really have.
We're just at insanity at this point,
Yeah.
doing the same thing
I'm
over and
not
over.
convinced the season 3 would make this better, especially with where they've left season 2, where they ended it. So yeah, no, I'm not terribly convinced. This is like a straight to streaming. I think it's a low budget, maybe slightly above low budget sci-fi TV series.
How was it visually?
It has its moments.
Okay.
I when I say like slightly above low budget or whatever, like, or average budget for TV, like, I think it looks better than a lot of TV, but it's certainly not cinematic 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a large portion of episodes, like episodes 2, 3, 5, and 6 really feel like they're just, we can't have characters in armor because that's too clunky or too expensive, and we're shooting all indoors in these corridors because that's affordable. And so those feel like TV episodes, right? And like, not every show can have the budget to do what, end of, seasons 6 through 8 of Game of Thrones did, or what, I mean, heck, even House of the Dragon, I think, is like, it just feels big.
Mm-hmm.
The world feels big all the time, no matter what episode you hop into. I just don't get that with this. It feels like a TV show. So.
Cool. Or I guess uncool.
Yeah.
Because it was bad.
It's fine. Yeah. Straight to streaming. I probably wouldn't suggest most people just sub to Paramount Plus to watch it, but I don't know. I did, so.
You're a huge Halo fan. Maybe?
Hey, I got the Chief right up here. Chief's my boy.
Look at that guy. Wait. Why has he got his helmet on?
Yeah.
He never puts that on.
The Master Chief never wears a helmet. You're right.
It's the opposite of the Mandalorian and Darth Vader. He never wears a helmet.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Luke, we also have watched a differing amount of The Three Body Problem. Let's just real quick give our impressions, since we don't have like a proper review ready for it.
Yeah. I've watched
6 episodes?
6 episodes? Definitely 5. Maybe 6. Don't remember.
Somewhere in there.
I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's great.
Okay.
I feel like it's, what's the word? Really convoluted in its science. They just chuck words at you.
Yeah.
And it feels sci-fi in, I don't know, vibe.
I was going to say,
but I don't feel like they ever try to explain the science.
Okay. So I'm only 2.5 episodes in, and I'm still at that point where they're kind of identifying the problem. So I don't think we've gotten deep into the sci-fi. Like, it doesn't feel like a sci-fi show at this point, other than like
they have a VR video game.
The crazy VR video game, and the night sky light and the countdown timer thing, right?
Yeah.
Those are all like, oh, those are weird, but it not necessarily sci-fi in nature, truly. But I'm a little disappointed to hear you say that.
Like, it's entertaining. It's cool.
Okay.
I think the performances are good enough. They're good to good enough, except for Sam from Game of Thrones, who I cannot stand. I think that dude sucks in Game of Thrones, and I think he sucks in this. That might just be me. But it's it feels like so much is going on, and they're just trusting me to accept what's going on a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Which
can, I don't know, sometimes it feels a little annoying. Like, for instance, has her countdown ended?
Yeah.
Okay. She does her little nano cut thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an opportunity to go sci-fi and explain what you're doing. But they're just like, nano thing. And that's how everything is. They're like, it's a three-body problem.
Yeah,
Cool.
but what does that mean?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like we
yeah.
just keep moving on to the next thing. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I have to do that at least once an episode. Um, so I feel like the sci-fi aspect could be better.
Okay.
I think the super interesting part is how they kind of treat it's like a sci-fi cult
Mm.
because there is a cult in this show and
Mm-hmm.
it feels half of the show feels like a cult show and the other half is the sci-fi stuff, and I really like that side of it. I think it's really really interesting, um just like with how they treat the god of the cult, I guess.
Okay.
um I really like that bit. um However, where I'm at now, it's just like, okay, where are we going next?
Yeah.
So I think it's all right.
Okay.
I think it's good enough to enjoy,
Yeah.
but I
Well, you
think there
yeah,
is
what you've said has not deterred me from finishing the
yeah.
show. Uh,
And like an episode finishes and I go, "Oh, whoa, that's cool."
yeah.
And so it's like, "Oh, I got to watch the next one." But then it's kind of just like oh, that's cool. I got to watch the next one.
I do appreciate. So while it may not go too deep into some of those things that you're talking about, like what you're saying, uh, I do feel like it's a show where I have to pay attention. I think a lot of shows these days are written or made, not written necessarily, but made with the idea of someone who's like actively on their phone scrolling TikTok or whatever needs to be able to still follow, and I think that dumbs down a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed if I've had my phone out or something with this one, that I'm like, oh wait, no, what was that? Like, I have to pay attention.
Yeah.
I appreciate a show that is confident enough in itself that it's not dumbing itself down for me, the audience. I don't know if it continues to do that, but
I don't need it. Like, it's not that it dumbs down. I just
no. But what you're saying is that it could go deeper even
yeah. Oh
into
yeah.
some of that explanation. Like because there's an amount of mystery that can come with not revealing everything, but at the same time, you could lack actual understanding if you don't get the information needed. And what I'm hearing you say is that it needs to do a better job of explaining, okay, what are either the consequences or what is the actual definition of the problem
Mm-hmm.
that they're or the thing that they're talking about. Um,
Yeah. Because like we just got so many science
well,
people that are
you
all
don't
talking
know
to each other.
you don't
And
know stakes, right? Like
yeah.
if you don't know if we can't agree on a definition of a thing, then we don't know what it is. And as an audience, we don't know the stakes if we don't know the definition of a problem.
A
We're
three body
a three
problem.
body problem. Um,
And like when they figure that out in the VR game.
yeah, because right now it's at least in the early episodes, it's presented in this game thing,
Yeah.
this VR headset, and in a game, there's very little consequence in our world, right? And so they've kind of hinted at maybe some more object permanence with characters in the game, and obviously the game feels very much not like a game. At the same time,
So real.
it's
But it's
very
not.
interesting. So yeah, I mean, what else did you want to say? I talked my way into a point where I've lost it. I'm going crazy.
I really like Benedict Wong. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him not in a Marvel movie. I feel like I've only ever seen him in Marvel stuff. But yeah, I'm curious how it's gonna end
Mm-hmm.
because I think I only have 2 episodes left. I think it's 8 episodes.
Does this so thus far, but I feel like I'm still kind of in the first third of the show. Like at this point, to you, does it feel like oh, this is like the guys who did Game of Thrones and that scale. Does it feel like a proper follow up for them?
No, mainly. I mean, I just don't think they're comparable.
Okay, they're just such different
Yeah,
properties. Okay.
it's like it's five scientists all like, ooh, what with the stars? They're blinking what?
Yeah.
Um, whereas like Game of Thrones is giant fantasy world, dragons, war, and this is
And we got to
somebody
remember
might
the
be out
length
there.
of Game of like we're maybe it's not fair to compare
Yeah.
seasons 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones to season 1 of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's just like parts in it too where you're just like, that's really cool, but why did we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Did we do that because it's cool for the book? Or maybe it wasn't even in the book. Did we do that because it was cool for the show?
Right.
It's like some of the decisions are just like, huh? Why? Feel like we could have done that a lot better. A little safer.
Well, anything else that you've been watching this week that you want to give some impressions on, or?
I'm caught up on the Bad Batch.
Nice.
Season 3, and it is super good. Season 1 was alright. Season 2 was better. Season 3 is really good. It's a little more mature. The animation is always fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I binged through that really quick. So I'm ready for the next episode too.
Sweet.
I can't remember how many there are this season. It's the last season. And I am always really curious where things will end in a Star Wars show that takes place in between a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's like with even the Jedi video games. It's like, where are we gonna end this?
Yeah.
And like those end really nowhere near everything else.
Right.
Even though Darth Vader shows up in both games. Which is super cool how well it works. But yeah, I'm really because like, are these characters gonna be still alive? Are they gonna go in hiding? What they're doing with Omega this season is super interesting, and I'm curious how it will influence the rest of like just Star Wars lore.
Yeah.
Because she is kind of important. And I was about to say kind of what it leads into, but it might be kind of a spoiler, so I won't.
Better safe than sorry. But enjoying it so far.
Yeah, really enjoying it.
And curious where it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Did I watch something else? I feel like I watched something else. Oh, I finished the new He-Man season.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool. I enjoy that show. I kind of watch it when it's in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's fun. The animation is super cool.
I should fire that up. I have not.
This season.
This season
was like science versus technology.
Okay.
Or science versus technology. Science and technology versus magic kind of thing.
That makes more sense for a He-Man
Science
show.
versus technology. I'm an idiot.
No.
I watch a lot of basketball.
You're our idiot, though.
I'm already an idiot?
No, you're our idiot.
Yeah. Lots of basketball.
Well, cool. Some news stories? What do we got news-wise?
I have two.
Yeah, hit them.
I'll start off with the little one. Happy Gilmore 2 is gonna happen. Where's it gonna happen? Netflix.
Oh.
Certified piece of crap coming your way. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be horrible, and I can't wait. Bring it on.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't even see.
I think that's an accurate assumption.
I don't even see how you make this work. Like, because I feel like just Adam Sandler's comedy this day doesn't work as well. Like, you can kind of gather that by most of his Netflix movies that he keeps putting out. Even though, I mean, Hubie Halloween's a masterpiece, but
It
I
was
mean,
the diamond in the rough.
yeah, dude, I love that movie. It's so stupid. It's so good. Oh, but yeah, Now Begin War 2 is probably going to be pretty horrible. Um, yeah.
Okay.
Excited? Gonna watch it?
Oh yeah.
Happy Gilmore fan?
I'll watch. I enjoy Happy Gilmore. To be fair, it's probably been 10 years since I've seen it, so it may not have aged as well as I remember. But I was, high school Brett, college age Brett, big Adam Sandler
Oh, dude, yeah.
yeah.
So that was when he was in his prime.
Yeah, I don't know what was the magic combination there, but definitely loved it. Over in the chat, Baroque says, Hubie Halloween is a movie I know I've seen, but I cannot remember a single thing about it. Well, then it sounds like it's time for a rewatch.
Dude, just the opening scene where he's just got his thermos and he's catching eggs. Oh, so funny, man.
Oh, so good. So good.
I love that movie.
I've got a story. Euphoria Season 3. Delayed indefinitely.
Oh, no. We're all so upset.
So I watched a little of Season 1, did not finish it or watch Season 2.
Didn't feel the vibe?
So, no, I did not feel the vibe.
You didn't like the high schoolers having sex and drugs constantly?
It was a choice. Definitely a problem. I think ultimately this comes down to those actors are starting to age out of high school.
Age out of high school? They never looked like they belonged
Okay, they never looked like they belonged in high school.
Not
a
once.
number of them are are much bigger actors and actresses now. In order to probably pay them, I don't know they were probably in a contract for like a season 3, but like
Yep.
Season 2 I know wasn't as well received as Season 1. I think they tried some different things. But yeah, they're basically saying we're delaying it indefinitely. Go pursue other opportunities.
Didn't the guy who made it too went and made that show with The Weeknd?
Oh yeah,
everyone
hated it. So that probably
is HBO like. Does this guy suck? Hold on, let's go rewatch Euphoria Season 1 and 2.
Maybe.
Haven't seen it.
Maybe
They're rewatching it and they're like, "Oh man, this is garbage. Why do we like this?" And then Sydney Sweeney shows up and they're like, "Oh, this is why
people like it." Yeah, but it was a story.
I'd be really interested in seeing the metrics of Euphoria Season 1 and 2. Like, what's the demographic for people watching?
Yeah.
Are we willing to post that, HBO? Are we scared? Are we scared? I'm not.
You're not scared of nothing.
I'm scared of a lot of things. A lot of things. I am a worry wart.
That's fair.
I got warts all over. They worry too. I got a mole right here.
We could freeze them.
Can't see it. That's why I sit on this side.
Freeze those warts.
No.
I used to.
Oh, it's a mole, not a wart.
Maybe TMI. In high school, I would get like a wart like right here on my ring finger.
I had really bad warts when I was
and we'd go and you get it frozen off. Yeah.
I don't remember what we did. I just remember I was wearing a Band-Aid. It was like preschool for me.
Oh wow.
I was wearing a Band-Aid over it, and then I looked down and just like so much blood coming out. Just like, hey, obviously it's not this. I was probably crying, but I was just like, I think my wart like broke or ripped off or something. It was gross.
You're playing too hard, man.
Now you know what? I'm sitting here and remembering that, and I'm like, was that a real memory? Man, it was so long ago.
Did you invent that memory? We'll have to ask.
Did somebody plant that?
I'll ask your parents on Sunday.
Somebody just full on Inception me? No lie, I wouldn't mind if somebody Inception me. I'd be impressed.
Yeah, I don't know if yeah, it'd be probably more like, oh wow.
It's like, wow, good job.
All right, I'm not even mad about that. It's actually quite impressive. You ate a whole wheel of cheese?
Why? I woke up and I just wanted some cheese.
Luke, you said you had one more story?
This is going back to Bungie. And Marathon, of all things, we're not talking Destiny. We're talking Marathon. Well, we're kind of talking Destiny, but it's all Bungie. But it was Rebecca Valentine. This is the same person who did the giant Bungie
She's got contacts. She's got
layup
someone who's willing to
thing.
talk.
And, dude, she's... I don't have a lot of experience with, like, knowing who reporters are in the gaming world. I, like, know Jason Schreier because he's Jason Schreier.
Yeah.
And Paul Tassi because all he talks about is Destiny.
It's kind of cool to see people like her,
Rebecca Valentine.
Rebecca Valentine, be at
their name.
a place like. Look, I think IGN's kind of gone into the toilet over the years, but every once in a while there comes up with like a really good reporter, a really good editor who, you know, is just a great writer, good researcher, good reporter, and will probably launch this, you know, kind of reporting will launch their career into, you know, something that's bigger, more reputable.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
But anyways, what was the story?
Just kind of talking about Bungie and their future, kind of with Sony and how people are kind of worried. They think execs are going to bounce once they get their big paycheck bonus from Marathon being released.
They gotta probably hit certain metrics. It's gotta be good enough to get a bonus.
True.
Because it wasn't that the whole thing with Destiny 1 with Activision. They were going to get a certain bonus. Or was it Destiny 2?
Probably Destiny 2.
It wouldn't have been Activision, though. It would have been...
Activision always wants sequels.
Yeah.
That's why they
But it needed to hit a certain Metacritic to get X, number of bonuses, and then it didn't do well enough.
Everybody's like, what the heck is
this? So it sounds like there's a lot of uncertainty kind of post Final Shape and Marathon.
And they think there's going to be more layoffs. So, like, Bungie employees are worried. And then, Marathon. This was really the thing people were kind of talking about most, at least on Twitter. Marathon, for the past 9 months, has had a new game director.
They really went radio silent on that after they announced it.
They announced it at Summer Game Fest? I don't remember when that was.
Dude, so they announced it.
And then immediately
Barrett was
Christopher Barrett.
That was so fast. You're right, because you do the math and it's like, that would be right after.
But Christopher Barrett is now creative executive director.
Sometimes that might happen after like a trailer or something and there's a lot of public backlash.
But people loved it.
It really got really good reception. I mean, I know it's kind of weird. We're talking about extraction shooters here in 2024. Is that going to work? But from what I remember, people were like, okay, yeah, it's not like hardcore Bungie fans were all like, well, that's not Marathon, because it's not. Marathon was a single player game. But like an interesting take on the Marathon story and in the universe or whatever, like. Yeah, that is fast. Like, clearly something wasn't working internally.
Yeah.
So.
But, like, he's still at Bungie. It sounds like a fake title, which is weird.
It's like Jason Jones.
But, like, now it's, what's his first name? Joe? We're just going to call him Ziegler. Don't know his first name. But, yeah, he is now the game director on Marathon.
He came from, like, Overwatch or something?
Valorant.
Mm-hmm. Valorant.
And it was also revealed that Marathon is now going to be a hero-based extraction shooter.
Still extraction shooter, but rather than customizable characters, more of like a hero set stats kind of a thing.
Yeah. And everybody hates it.
Yeah, I can see that getting reversed here. Based on public backlash.
He's from Valorant, though, and that's what Valorant is.
I think it'll be a hybrid. I bet it's more of like a class-based system, where it's like, here are...
Big, little...
Yeah. here's a heavy, here's a
Maybe like the finals.
light, yeah, a little bit more like the finals, and they allow for lots of customization within your, you know, class type, is what my guess would be. Uh, just because I mean, unless you know
It's
that the hero thing
it's the
works.
just I feel the term heroes
Yeah,
is, I mean, it's a choice.
it's a choice.
Um, but like I know I'm not like the most excited for this game. I was willing to try it, just because I love Bungie shooters.
Yeah,
I still think Destiny 2 is the best feeling shooter
it's
that
great.
I've played.
Yeah,
Um,
feels great.
but like it being like a hero shooter is like it's one of the reasons I don't like Apex.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
Like, it's not for everyone. I get it. Like, and I love Apex, but at the same time, there is like, and part of it's the free to play model.
yeah.
In that, like, a lot of the skins and customization are locked behind paywalls and battle
Yeah.
passes and stuff like that. I don't love that, which unfortunately Destiny has kind of fallen into that. Well, a bit, not entirely.
They keep trying.
So feasibly, there's a middle ground that just no one has kind of perfected for me. But I think they've, for the most part, figured out business models that work for the most part until you have a expansion that doesn't do well and you don't have players coming back and but sorry, now I'm talking about Lightfall and the season
Well, I
after.
mean, they talk about in this article too, like Marathon might be kind of relying on the final shape
Oh yeah.
doing good.
Yeah.
Bungie is like they're on the ropes. Like they're really going through it right now.
Which is so interesting because the whole, and I get it's all business and communications is all managing expectations and trying to put off a perceived confidence and whatnot. But part of the whole acquisition of Bungie by Sony was that it was going to allow them to take more risk and spin up bigger teams and finish projects quicker and get more incubation things off the ground. And it's just not proven true.
Matter has been canceled
It's just
twice.
been yeah.
It's been canceled twice.
So like I I I don't know. There may have never been a point in the last 10 years when Bungie internally felt safe, right? In terms of like, hey, we're going to make it through the next 4 quarters, no problem.
Yeah.
That might not be the case, and they've just been really good at, keeping that under wraps. That's fine. I guess I don't, that's not necessarily things that need to be known by public. Um, but at the same time, I think you have to manage your company in a way where you're fulfilling expectations, but also meeting budget things. And I don't know. Like, I know that the number of incubation projects over the years since Halo have been pretty high, and obviously, like, only one of those things has come to fruition.
Yeah.
Um, I can think offhandedly of at least 4, probably 5 that I know existed, whether or not they were ever publicly discussed. And you just depending on how far into development you get on those before they get canceled, that's a lot of money that you're just not getting back, right?
Yeah. And like I find it so interesting. Bungie so bad wants to be a multi-game studio. But the moment they like announce Marathon is even before really, it feels like Bungie has just been riding the struggle bus down the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like maybe you can be a multi-game studio,
Well, I think
but not everything needs to be as monstrous really as like Destiny takes.
that's their problem. I mean, this is we've I think I talked about this like 3-4 weeks ago. Um the gaming industry is at a crossroads, right? Where
Yeah, you
things are
did talk
too
about this.
too big right? Like they cannot fail. If they fail, it's the end of a studio.
Mm-hmm.
And Bungie has such a high bar that they put on themselves for what a game should be, how it should feel, how much it should be polished, what it should look like graphically, visually. Um, that it just, I wonder if, I think just to go to a multi-game studio, they're gonna have to, I mean, either lower those standards or they have to be willing to ride until the 11th hour on hope that this works, and if it doesn't, it could be the end, and that sucks.
Hmm.
Bungie's been around for 25 plus years, and that's
30.
like 30 years. That's right, they had their
Over
30th
30.
30th anniversary thing like 2 years ago, so over 30 years,
Yeah.
and they've been independent, been acquired by Microsoft, got their independence back, were in partnerships with other publishers, independent once more, and then now they're purchased by Sony. So like they've seen it all.
Maybe they'll go independent and then get bought by Nintendo. Be bought by all three.
I mean, I don't know what
And then
the name Bungie is worth, but surely there's a world in which even if Sony kills everything, someone would be like, we want to retain
the
what
IP.
just the Bungie as like kind of restart it as a small indie thing. I don't know who that would be, but you'd hope that it could have a legacy that continues, even if it's not kind of the monolith of a developer that it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot of talk.
Well, it's a podcast.
True.
We talk.
And
we talk out our butts.
on our podcast. Oh, do we? Is that why it smells in here all the time?
That's what's gonna happen in Fede Alvarez's Alien.
It
Somebody's talking out their butt.
Comes out
It's
the
gonna
butt.
come right out the butt.
Oh no. Also on our podcast, we sometimes have people ask questions. Trevor over on Twitter said, "Excuse me, excuse me, what the fanboy? I have a fanbox question. Oh, I have a fanbox question." He has a question mark by his question.
I don't think he does. That's my answer. And I hope I'm right.
What music are you
wrong.
listening to right now? Any morning jams, 5 p.m. traffic grind playlists? So what music are we listening to right now?
Right now in my car, when I drive, I'm listening to Ryan Caraveo's new album, Trouble in Paradise. Came out several months ago. But my brother had an extra CD of it and he gave it to me, so I've been listening to that. It's really good. This is why I restarted watching Full Metal Alchemist though today. Last week I was listening to the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood soundtrack. I love some of the themes in that show, man. They're so good. That is one of my favorite shows. I'm rewatching it again. It's because I couldn't take it. So good.
Nice.
Most of my time is spent listening to scores and soundtracks. So.
Yeah, same. I've been listening to, not so much this last week, but up until my trip to Peru, I was listening to the Dune 2 soundtrack quite a bit.
Good stuff.
I have an album on here called Ascendance by Audio Machine that I've been enjoying. Linkin Park, actually, we had someone in the office post a question about what early 2000s band is like your comfort food, like comfort music, food music.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I love me some Linkin Park.
Reliant K.
Yes.
Goated. 0 bad albums.
You're not wrong.
The first one was okay, but it's still great.
So, I don't particularly listen to anything just in the morning or just in the evenings. I still listen to a few podcasts. Way less than I used to listen to.
Dude,
but I
same.
got a couple.
I used to have like 9 podcasts on my weekly feed.
Yeah.
Listen to every single one. Now I listen to 0. I'm crushing it.
Nice. Over in the chat, Baroque says, "Why are Trevor's questions always so snarky?"
Maybe he's a snarky guy.
Trevor
He'd be snarking.
is a
Snark, nark.
snark narc,
Snark, snark.
a snarkity
It's
snarkle.
It's what a snarky person says when they're
Oh.
snarking.
No,
Snark,
we
snark, snark.
we like snarky Trevor. Snarky Trevor's fun. So, nothing wrong with a little snark every once in a while.
Some people are snarky and some people are sharky.
I was trying to think of a clever comeback and I couldn't, or a continuation. Anyways, anything else? We kind of went over what we did this week already, earlier in the show. So, we'll try and watch a movie this week so we can have something to review next.
Doesn't Kong come out on this weekend?
Kong does come out this weekend.
Sorry. Godzilla.
Godzilla X Kong.
X Kong.
The new-
Godzilla
the new-
is listed first.
The new Empire. Come on.
I just wanted to give Godzilla his dues because he's first on the billing.
Yeah,
okay?
he does get first billing for sure.
Even though,
Do we know if Godzilla's
Kong's just as good.
is Godzilla a male?
I think in this version, he is. Because obviously in the Matthew Broderick film,
In the original
it is a girl.
Japanese films, Godzilla and all other monsters are referred to with gender-neutral pronouns. In the English dub version, Godzilla is described as a male. But yes, the Matthew Broderick one, because it was all about the eggs.
Eggs, yeah. But Godzilla is technically a force of nature, not
But they gotta have babies somehow.
not a lizard.
They gotta have babies somehow, right?
I don't know.
There's a son of Godzilla, right? That's a film? I am like 90% sure.
So we know the son of Godzilla is.
There is
a boy.
1967 son of Godzilla.
But is Godzilla the main Godzilla, or is Mrs. Godzilla the main Godzilla?
It's a good question.
How did Godzilla meet Mrs. Godzilla?
We're gonna have to do.
Or
a deep
is Mrs.
dive.
Godzilla actually Mothra?
Who? I mean,
Mothra's always
Mothra
there.
is always there. That's a good point.
Or Ghidorah?
Oh no, Ghidorah. Well, I mean, they could be having like a villain hero romance.
One of the heads of Ghidorah?
Just one of the heads.
One of the heads is like
super attracted to Godzilla.
Like, I'm not gonna fight you. You're kind of cute. Don't listen to him. I know they're shooting lightning. Don't listen to them.
It's goofy. It's goofy Ghidorah.
Yeah, one of the heads of Ghidorah is in every meme I see. It's a complete idiot. Turns out,
love it.
that head was just in love.
Just in love.
Love.
Love
wins.
will conquer all. Anyways.
Mechagodzilla. I'm guessing can't have babies. It's a robot.
Do you think it has like an internal reproductive machine to like manufacture like an auto?
No. I think they just gave it more weapons.
Mechagodzilla does have lots of weapons.
Maybe just like a belly blast. Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
No, I think that checks out. All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up the end of our show this week. Next week hopefully we'll be back talking about Godzilla times Kong, the new Empire.
Ooh. Monster math.
Oh, what is Godzilla times Kong?
What is Godzilla times Kong?
We know what Godzilla.
Turns out
plus
it's a new
Kong
empire.
They already did the math for us. It's there in the title.
Thank goodness.
Oh my goodness. All right. So until next time.
The new empire is variable X.
Oh, we didn't think about
Kong is Y.
We didn't think about X being a variable. Oh my gosh. What's in parentheses? So what order do we do it in? I don't even know.
You divide by
Luke's just
Mothra.
gonna keep going on this, so I'm gonna walk over there and turn off the stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, listening, wherever, however you digest the show. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Godzilla ain't digestion. He's doing a belly blast.